In this section, we're going to talk about implementing discrete trial teaching procedures. What is discrete trial teaching? Some abbreviations you may hear may be DTT for discrete trial teaching or DTI for discrete trial interval. Discrete trial teaching are learning trials that are presented in quick successions. All trials that are presented to the client have a clear beginning and clear ending. The learner can acquire new skills in a controlled learning setting. Common skills that are taught in DTT are academics, listener responding, and verbal behavior, motor imitation, and matching skills. Before we go on, let's do some review. What is ABC? A for antecedent, which is the stimulus presented before the behavior occurs. B for behavior, which is what the learner does that is observable. And C for consequence, or the stimulus after the behavior occurs. For example, the teacher tells the student to push in their chair. The student pushes in the chair. Then the teacher provides praise for the student. Here are some other terms used for discrete trial teaching. They are discrete trial instruction, discrete trial training, intensive teaching, and discrete trial intensive teaching. Here is a quick example of an ABC sequence used in discrete trial teaching. For the antecedent, the RBT is presenting an instruction saying, clap your hands. For the behavior, the client will respond by clapping their hands. For the consequence, the RBT provides reinforcement for the correct response or an error correction for an incorrect response. This is an example of a learner responding correctly during discrete trial teaching. The antecedent is the RBT delivering an SD saying, stomp your feet, where then the client responds by stomping their feet a few seconds after the RBT delivered that specific demand. The consequence of that behavior would be the RBT providing the client with reinforcement, whether that's praise, a token, or an edible. Here's an example when the learner incorrectly responds during discrete trial teaching. As you can see, when the RBT delivered the SD, stomp your feet, the client responded with an incorrect response by clapping their hands. In this scenario, the consequence of this incorrect response would most likely be the RBT implementing an error correction procedure by representing the SD and jumping in with the most appropriate prompt for that client. What is errorless teaching? During DTT, the RBT or teacher will give an instruction and the learner will respond with either the correct, incorrect, or no response at all. Errorless teaching involves immediate prompting of the target behavior to ensure that the learner's response is correct and will not display an error. As the learner begins to learn the skill or target behavior, the instructor will begin to fade out their prompt. Errorless learning will soon teach the learner to respond independently.